Have you ever thought about how risky traveling can become once you reach your 80s, even if you've traveled your whole life? At that age, the way our bodies and minds handle new places changes in ways we don't always expect. Travel often sounds exciting, new sights, new experiences, but the reality can be very different for people over 80. The risks, both physical and emotional, can sometimes outweigh the rewards. This isn't about saying you shouldn't enjoy life or adventure, but about being aware of the hidden challenges. When you understand them, you can make safer and wiser choices. In this video, we'll cover 6 important reasons why traveling after 80% may not always be the best idea. These reasons come from real situations many seniors face, but rarely talk about. The final reason might surprise you the most. It could even make you rethink your travel plans entirely. Number 1. Higher health risks and limited emergency care. One of the biggest concerns is how quickly health issues can appear without warning. In your 80 seconds, the body is less forgiving. Even a small problem can turn serious very fast. At home, you know where the nearest hospital or clinic is, but while traveling, that safety net disappears. In many places, medical care may not be suited to the needs of older adults. Language barriers and unfamiliar health systems can also delay treatment, and those delays can be the difference between a minor issue and a life-threatening one. For example, imagine suddenly feeling short of breath or chest pain while on a tour in a remote town. Back home, you could call for help and see a doctor within minutes. On the road, help may not arrive nearly as fast. When traveling abroad, getting medical help can be much harder. You may struggle to find the right clinic, explain your symptoms in another language, or hope the facility has the right equipment. Even something small like becoming dehydrated in hot weather can quickly turn serious, causing dizziness or fainting. And for older adults, recovery is often slower and more complicated. Many seniors also depend on regular treatments or medications that must be taken on a strict schedule. But travel often disrupts routines. Flight delays, time zone changes, or unexpected transportation problems can cause you to miss doses or take medicine at the wrong time, raising the risk of serious health issues. At this stage of life, routine is not just habit, it's protection. Travel means giving up some control over your environment. You cannot always count on quick emergency services or staff who understand age-related conditions. Even in modern countries, hospitals may have long waits, and the nearest specialist could be hours away. This is especially dangerous if you live with chronic conditions such as heart disease, diabetes, or breathing problems where every minute matters. This doesn't mean older adults should live in fear. It means recognizing that the risks are higher when you are far from your support network. At home, your doctor knows your history, your pharmacy has your prescriptions, and your family or friends can step in to help. On the road, you may face these problems alone, which can be overwhelming. The comfort of knowing help is nearby is something many people don't appreciate until it's gone. Travel can still be enjoyable in the right circumstances, but after 80, it's worth asking if the trip is truly worth the potential risks. Being honest about your medical needs and researching the availability of care where you plan to go isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Protecting your health is the most important journey of all, because it allows you to keep living safely, steadily, and with quality in every moment. Number 2, increased risk of accidents and falls. As we get older, our balance, reflexes, and muscle strength naturally change, even if we stay active. After 80, these changes make accidents more likely, especially in unfamiliar places where hazards are harder to notice. Travel often means walking on uneven sidewalks, cobblestone streets, or climbing stairs without railings. You may need to step onto buses, trains, or curbs that aren't designed with senior safety in mind. It only takes one slip, one uneven surface, or one sudden bump to cause a fall that could affect your independence for months or even longer. At home, you know the safest paths, which shoes work best, and where potential risks are. But when traveling, you are reacting in the moment, navigating crowded airports, busy markets, or narrow hotel hallways. Even carrying luggage can throw off your balance and make it easier to stumble. Poor lighting, broken sidewalks, or slippery tiles in unfamiliar places add even more risk. The consequences of a fall at this age go far beyond the injury itself. A broken hip, wrist, or shoulder may require surgery and months of rehab. Being away from your usual support network makes recovery hard. Even after healing, many seniors lose confidence in their mobility, becoming more hesitant to go out. This can lead to isolation and declining physical health. Travel also encourages us to do more than we normally would, standing in long lines, walking for hours on tours, or carrying heavy shopping bags. These may seem harmless, but they add strain to muscles and joints. Fatigue builds up faster, and when you're tired, your ability to react to hazards is reduced. Footwear can also become a hidden risk. While you may pack your most supportive shoes, some situations, like cultural sites or formal restaurants, might push you to wear less practical footwear. Shoes without proper grip or support increase the chance of slipping, especially on wet tiles, unstable steps, or slick streets. This isn't about avoiding activity or staying in a chair. It's about recognizing how travel can quietly increase the risk of falls and why extra care is so important after 80. Number 3. Difficulty adapting to extreme weather and climate changes. Another challenge of traveling after 80 is how the body reacts to sudden climate changes. As we age, our ability to regulate temperature weakens. What feels like a small shift for a younger person can be physically stressful for someone older. Travel often means moving quickly from one extreme to another, like stepping out of a cold, air-conditioned airport into hot, humid streets, or leaving a warm climate only to arrive somewhere windy and freezing. These abrupt changes can put strain on the heart, lungs, and overall energy levels. Even small temperature swings can cause problems. Hot weather can bring on dehydration and heat exhaustion much faster than expected. Cold weather can stiffen joints, raise blood pressure, and increase the risk of lung infections. Altitude changes add another layer of difficulty. In higher places, the air is thinner, so the body has to work harder just to function. A hike or city walk that once felt refreshing may now leave you short of breath and worn out. Humidity is also a hidden challenge. Tropical or coastal areas with heavy moist air can sap your energy and make breathing harder, especially if you have asthma or other respiratory issues. On the other hand, very dry climates can dehydrate you without warning, drying out skin, throat, and nasal passages, which makes illness easier to catch. The real danger is that, after 80, the body often doesn't send clear signals. You may not feel thirsty until you're already dehydrated, or you may not notice strain until it becomes serious. This makes climate shifts a bigger risk than many seniors realize. Travel schedules can make climate risks even worse. Jet lag, irregular sleep, and long hours in transit make it harder for the body to adjust. You might arrive in a city where the sun rises or sets at completely different times than you're used to, which disrupts your natural rhythm. Even the local food and drinks may differ from what you normally consume, forcing your body to adapt in ways that can be tiring. Clothing adds another challenge. Some destinations have big temperature swings in the same day, cool mornings, hot afternoons, and chilly nights. To stay comfortable, you need to carry or wear multiple layers, which can be exhausting. Misjudging the weather and ending up too cold or overheated is more than uncomfortable at this age. It can be dangerous. The key problem is that weather and climate are beyond your control once you arrive. You can plan to travel in a mild season, but unexpected shifts happen everywhere. While younger travelers may brush it off, those over 80 have to. Think about how each change impacts comfort, mobility, and health. Adapting to new climates takes energy, and after 80, energy is something you must protect. Being aware of these risks doesn't mean giving up on travel, but it does mean making choices that keep you safe and comfortable, instead of spending days recovering from conditions your body wasn't ready for. Number 4. Challenges with long flights and extended transportation. Long flights, train, rides, or bus trips are tiring at any age, but after 80, the impact is far greater. Hours in a cramped seat with little movement can lead to stiff joints, swollen legs, and in some cases dangerous blood clots such as deep vein thrombosis (DVT). Even if you stand up and stretch from time to time, the lack of space and long periods of sitting slow down circulation. This can leave you feeling tired for days, and for someone in their 82nd, it may take weeks to fully recover. The challenge isn't only physical. Long travel days also demand constant alertness. You have to navigate airports, manage luggage, find boarding gates, and sometimes make quick connections. For older travelers, these steps can feel overwhelming, especially when schedules are tight and there's little time to rest. Layovers in unfamiliar airports or delays at train stations can drain both your patience and your energy. And when you're over 80, fatigue is more than uncomfortable. It can affect your safety, judgment, and confidence. Sleep disruption adds another layer of difficulty. Overnight flights, changing time zones, and sleeping in unfamiliar places make it hard to get the deep rest your body needs. Missing even a single night of good sleep can weaken your immune system and leave you feeling drained before your trip even begins. That makes it harder to enjoy the experiences you traveled so far to see. Meals and hydration also become issues. On long journeys, you often have little control over what or when you eat. Airplane food may not fit your dietary needs, and the dry air in the cabin can dehydrate you quickly. Some seniors drink less to avoid frequent bathroom trips, but this only increases the risk of headaches, dizziness, or constipation. Small discomforts like these pile up fast, especially when combined with hours of sitting still. Noise, crowds, and constant announcements add another layer of stress. Airports, train stations, and bus terminals are full of loud sounds, bright lights, and constant movement. For someone whose hearing or vision isn't as sharp as it once was, this overload of information can feel overwhelming. It can leave you mentally drained before you even reach your destination. When you're younger, one good night of sleep might be enough to recover from a rough travel day. But after 80, recovery takes much longer. The discomfort and stress of long travel often linger, affecting the rest of your trip and making it harder to fully enjoy the experience. That's why many seniors eventually ask themselves, is the trip at the end of all this travel truly worth the toll it takes on my body and mind? Travel can still be wonderful in later years, but it's best when the journey itself is comfortable, direct, and suited to your needs, not when it feels like days of endurance just to get started. Number 5, financial strain and hidden costs. Another challenge that's easy to overlook is money. Traveling after 80% can put unexpected financial pressure on you, especially if surprise expenses begin to pile up. Many seniors live on fixed incomes or carefully managed savings. While travel may have fit comfortably into your budget years ago, it can become a much heavier burden now. The cost of travel has risen steadily over the years. Flights, hotels, and insurance are more expensive than ever, and for seniors, added needs, like accessible rooms, medical coverage, or mobility aids can push costs even higher. What looks affordable when planning can quickly become far more expensive once the trip begins. One of the biggest financial risks is medical care abroad. Even with travel insurance, coverage limits, deductibles, and exclusions may leave you paying much more out of pocket than expected. In some countries, you must pay up front before receiving treatment, and getting reimbursed later can be slow and complicated. If illness or injury forces you to change plans, last-minute flight changes or non-refundable cancellations can add even more costs. Hidden expenses are another common issue. Exchange rates, foreign transaction fees, tipping, customs, and tourist markups can all stretch your budget. Meals at airports or popular tourist areas are often overpriced. Transportation, whether taxis, ride shares, or private shuttles, can also be costly, especially if public transit isn't safe or practical for you. Even small daily expenses add up quickly, and without careful tracking, you may come home to a tighter budget than expected. Comfort and convenience also carry a price. Direct flights, upgraded seats with more legroom, centrally located hotels, or guided tours make travel easier and less tiring, but they also raise the overall cost. These choices may be necessary for your health and comfort, but they can turn a simple trip into a significant expense. Finally, there's the long-term impact. At 80 and beyond, protecting your savings is about more than comfort. It's about making sure you have resources for healthcare, home needs, and daily living in the years ahead. A trip may bring joy in the moment, but if it puts your financial security at risk, the trade-off may not be worth it. Travel can bring wonderful memories, but it should never come at the cost of your peace of mind. Number 6, emotional and mental stress from disrupted routines. One of the most overlooked challenges of traveling after 80 is the emotional and mental strain of leaving behind your familiar daily routines. At this age, routines are more than habits. They bring comfort, stability, and a sense of independence. Whether it's a morning walk, a regular meal schedule, or familiar surroundings, these patterns help you feel safe and in control. When travel disrupts these routines even for a short time, it can create unease, disorientation, or anxiety. Being in a new environment also means constant decision-making: where to eat, how to get around, when to rest, and what activities to choose. For younger travelers, this may not seem like much, but for seniors it can quickly become mentally exhausting and take away from the joy of the trip. This stress is even heavier when traveling with others who have different preferences, or when you feel pressured to keep up with a group. Navigating unfamiliar places can add to the strain. Busy streets, crowded airports, or large hotels may feel overwhelming if memory, vision, or hearing isn't as sharp as before. Even small setbacks like getting lost in a new city or struggling with local signs can build up into frustration and worry. Sleep disruption adds to the problem. New beds, different time zones, and unfamiliar noises at night can interfere with rest. Without good sleep, patience and energy levels drop, making it harder to enjoy new experiences. There's also the loss of familiar social connections. At home, you might have regular chats with neighbors, calls from friends, or community activities that keep you grounded. On the road, those interactions are replaced by polite but distant exchanges. While meeting new people can be pleasant, it doesn't give the same emotional comfort as long-standing relationships. Some seniors find that while they enjoyed the trip itself, they returned home feeling more drained than refreshed. This shows that the emotional cost of leaving routine sometimes outweighs the benefits of travel. This doesn't mean you shouldn't travel. It means being honest about how much disruption your mind and emotions can handle. At this stage of life, time and energy are precious. Protecting your peace of mind is just as important as protecting your physical health. Final thoughts as we wrap up. Let's take a moment to reflect on the 6 reasons we've just covered. Each one speaks to an important part of life after 80. Your health, your safety, your comfort, your finances, and your emotional well-being. Together, they show us that while travel is still possible at this age, it comes with challenges that should not be overlooked. The goal here isn't to take away your love of adventure, but to help you see the bigger picture so you can make choices that truly serve you. Think about which of these reasons connected with you most. Was it the concern about getting medical care far from home? Was it the stress of disrupted routines? Or maybe it was the reminder of how even small risks, like a fall or unexpected expenses, can have lasting effects. By recognizing what matters most to you, you give yourself the power to shape your life around safety, peace of mind, and quality of life. Travel can still be a beautiful experience, and for many people, it remains a source of joy even in later years. But there's also strength in realizing that joy can often be found closer to home, where you have the comfort of familiarity and the support of your community. Choosing not to travel doesn't mean you are missing out. It can mean you are protecting the independence and stability you've worked so hard to build. And sometimes the connection, beauty, and excitement we look for in faraway places can be found right where we are, with far less stress and far more security. Whether it's discovering a new hobby, spending more time with family and friends, or simply enjoying the rhythm of daily life, there are countless ways to keep growing, exploring, and finding fulfillment without ever packing a suitcase. Thank you for spending time with us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned and how you plan to use it in your own life. Your thoughts truly matter, and reading your comments gives us encouragement to keep going. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating content that informs and inspires. Thanks again for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.